Yeah, so let's move on. So thanks everyone for joining in. My name is Janne Kilpeläinen and I look after sales and marketing for Haltian. So what we do is that we make Internet of Things easy. We know that it's sometimes hard, but we make our most to make it as easy as possible to apply. So today we're going to talk shortly about empathic building. So what does that mean in practice, and how does that help actually in returning safely to the office and buildings as well. So I'm here with my colleague Tomi.
Hello.
Tomi Teikko, who's actually the kind of the brains behind our empathic building solution. And then also we have a guest speaker from ISS Finland, Jari Tiirikainen as well. So let's see if I get my slides moving on. Did you see any movement on the screen?
Go ahead.
My slide change. Good. So just setting the scene. Some of you may not know about Haltian, what we do, and who we are. So just briefly about that. We're a Finnish-based company doing Internet of Things for a few years now. We've been growing in the last few years quite fast, and by doing this kind of like a sensor solution, which consists of small battery-powered sensors, gateways with connectivity, as well as the cloud solution to manage those devices to scale cost effectively as well as securely for any type of kind of like a smart building, smart office type of applications. Some of the things that we are extremely proud of is that everything we've done, everything we've designed and manufactured is actually done in Finland. So we don't outsource anything. We don't manufacture anything in Far East. Everything is actually manufactured in Finland as well. So that's why we claim the design from Finland mark as well. So the latest news, what we actually published in the last few days was that Haltian acquired one of our longest standing customers from Tietoevry. Tietoevry is a Nordics SI type of company who had a spin-off business called Empathic Building. We acquired that business, and as a result of that, Haltian can actually provide a complete end-to-end solution for smart buildings and smart offices. And what that solution actually consists of is these kind of like a small battery-powered sensors sensing various things within the building that are super easy to install, no configuration required locally. Data starts flowing anywhere in the world immediately once you power them up. You sense things, you look at the measurements, and then you have the solution to act upon as well. And that's where the empathic building comes on board as well. So I'll hand over to you, Tomi, to explain further that what does empathic building mean? How is it different from smart building, and how does it help with safe return to offices and buildings?
Thanks, Janne. Happy to share that. Like Janne already shortly introduced me, I'm a father and let's say biological father of empathic building solution, which actually looks like this. This is our customer Tietoevry Campus, which I will use as a example how to use our Haltian sensors easily with safe return to the office. But before we go to the practical data live situation, let's start a little bit about safe return to the office as a concept, and a little bit about the empathic building first, what it does and what type of use cases we can solve with the digital twin. So first, if we start, what kind of building is empathic? In our thinking, it is the one that can cater good employee experience. So it's not only the technology. With good employee experience, you need the physical space and you need the culture to support that, and the physical space and technology actually to support the work culture. Those are the key elements of employee experience. And with the empathic building as a technology perspective, we are catering and delivering employee experience, no matter if the use case is the safe return to the office, or how to find your colleague, or how to collaborate, and so on. How we deliver our digital twin is that we are using touchscreens. You can call it info screen or kiosk screen, or whatever you want to call it, but we want to bring the data very close to the end user's daily life. No matter that the whole solution and empathic building perfectly also works on mobile phone and your laptop, but we want the data to be visible in all daily situations. The solution itself is a web browser-based visualization engine that we have created ourselves. It is the fastest, cost-efficient, cloud-based visualization, real-time visualization engine ever created on this planet. What use cases we solve in a daily life? I will only concentrate one for today, which is how to find and select or book your desk. But other use cases is the collaboration already mentioned, how we can visualize the building, indoor air quality on real time. For facility management, we have a really nice utilization and real-time occupancy reports that you can see how much is oil fill rates and so on. How to book a room, how to collect the feedback, and how to report problems from using our marvelous user interface. But let's take the one part, left corner of what empathic building does, and now you select the desk during your day. There are three ways that we can use digital twin to help end users to select the desk. The first level, what we called just the digital copy, is that you can visualize which desks are available, which desks are currently in use. This is typically used in environments where you have a dedicated desk, so that the employees are constantly using the same desk. This is the easiest and the first level of using digital twin to visualize the capacity and availability. Next level is that we can enable that used in environments where you have activity-based type of working, that but you are reserving the desk for a longer period of time, not few hours or one day, but let's say a week and so on. So desk booking is then your way of enabling, giving the freedom for the end users to select, but you need to do it by booking on advanced. And the third level and the most preferred way by us is the totally automated desk booking, meaning that we will implement our easy wireless sensor under the desk, and when the data starts sending the occupancy information, it gives you real-time desks are currently in use, and with the same data you can then enable, for example, need-based type of clean and processes. And I will come back to you with the live. You can use one way of doing it, or you can live in a mixed environment. So you can have a campus or headquarters or like a you call business park multiple tenants or customers, there is no like a one way fits all, but you can also have a mixed environment. We have one example in Norway, Stavanger, our customers C7. They are using the dedicated desks, but they are using the sensor-based sensoring in common areas on cafeterias and the coffee areas where employees are using the desks more short period of time. So it can always be not like a one way, but it can be a multiple ways at the same time. All right, let's have real data to show how this really works. So here is an example of a campus which is visualized real time. So this is live data from Finland, and we can have one floor view, or we can have the whole campus view of several floors and all the data with like a one view. And like I mentioned, during now the safe return to the office type of environment, when you have like an indoor positioning, what we can do here nicely, we can visualize, for example, social distancing, and with the easy Haltian occupancy sensors under the desk, you can see how many desks currently are in use. So you can see this data real time. As you can see here, the real time utilization per different floor, we make that visible, and also the full occupancy of today when we define that we keep the desk occupied the whole day when it's once used. And this is very useful. For example, in this campus, we are using ISS as our service operator there, and end of every working day, all the desks which has been used are going to be disinfected and cleaned properly, so that the next day working can safely return and take whatever desk, because in this office there's a full activity-based and non-dedicated desks doesn't exist at all for the employees. So this is a way that you can actually save huge amount of time and liquids when you are implementing the need-based type of cleaning for the office using the real-time data. So what that means in practically, when the cleaning happens end of the day, cleaning personnel will just take really easy desk utilization report. They select, for example, if we now have now it's Wednesday, let's have the Tuesday data. We can generate a report, and with one view we can see which desks were used yesterday, and only for the desks which were used, and not the white ones that no one didn't even visit during the office day. So this is a practical example of how data can be used in real-time situations, and for that we have also our friend from ISS, Jari. Hello. Yeah, hello. And as an introduction now, how we are using this data, can you tell us what might be? Do you have examples? What kind of saving we can get when we implement this kind of need, or only clean the areas or desks which has been used today? Do you have any examples?
Yeah, definitely. And even though Tommy was talking about only utilizing the sensors on desks, we actually can very easily use the same sensoring type on meeting rooms also, which actually,
good point. Yes.
Yeah, it actually adds up the saved time, because desk takes a couple of minutes and meeting room takes a lot more, and when we can only participate our kind of tasks or manual labor on these spaces that have been actually used, we can actually save humongous amounts of time. We actually did in cooperation with Haltian and one other company. We did a test in a large shopping center in Finland, where we actually utilized the sensors and then scoped out our cleaning routines based on the information that we got from the sensors. So we actually censored some spaces, and we gathered information that how oftenly were they used, and then what was the amount of people coming and going in of those spaces. And based on that data, we actually shifted the way that we provided the services so that they actually met the needs of the users. And we were actually able to save 30% of the daily steps of the employees. So we were actually able to cut back 30% of the amount of time they spent walking from place to another. And funnily enough, even though we did that, we were able to actually address the needs better, and we were actually able to boost up the customer satisfaction for almost 20%. So that's like one of the best examples on how you can actually gain benefits when utilizing data smartly and making it having an impact on the actual business and the actual users.
Yeah, by the way, now at the same time I'm sharing an example of this having a sensor in room, so all the white rooms, and here you can see also in the list format that of course all the rooms with the 0% occupancy means that they have not been used, and you can skip the cleaning and disinfection of the surface totally on those things. So with that type of saving, actually we are talking about quite fast return of the investment.
Yes,
I'm not saying that our sensors are expensive. Actually, the pricing as a service starts with €5 per desk or room per month as a service, including hardware, license, and everything. So with 1 day, you can save this investment back in a good scenario.
Yeah. Since I'm trying to steer away from selling you to everyone else, I'm trying to keep back on the pricing conversations. But you are a global companion of ISS on the IoT sensoring, and within that, the solutions that are provided by Haltian are actually very largely thanked by our employees and appreciated by our guys. I'm also sitting in the core team of our global IoT, so I'm contributing also globally within ISS on how to utilize IoT and data, how to gather necessary data to enable our people to maybe do a little bit easierly the stuff that they are doing. I'm not going to say better because we have the best people in the world, but
Jari, I have a question to you as well. So since deploying this kind of like a data-driven approach, how has that helped you to kind of like initiate new initiatives or start thinking of how can data improve your service model as well, or offer new products and new type of services and new service model now that you have data from facilities?
Well, since we are one of the world's largest service providers in facility management, the core business of ISS is actually enabling our people to make places. So we contribute all of our efforts in the development or service excellence side in providing our employees with the best possible tools, and with the possibilities that are enabled by IoT, we can actually give them better, more accurate, more on time information on how the users of the building are actually consuming the building and the services. So, and that's a huge game changer for us. We can actually understand which places are used at what time, with what capacity, and how are the people liking them. Is this a reoccurring event? Can we actually spot out some traditional ways of working in the building, or even better, can we actually spot the anomalies? So can we actually understand exceptions, because those exceptions are oftenly missed when trying to do stuff traditionally without actually understanding the actual use. So in facility management, services are often carried out with different kind of schedules, and the schedules are the most common way that the building has been used from day to another, and those are historically based. So based on this time last year there were this and this many people, and blah 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 blah. So there's like calculation based on the history, but they have no correlation directly into the real-time data and today. So that's where the help of IoT actually kicks in. We can actually add on to the historical understanding the current understanding. So like in September 2020, it's not so efficient to compare this to September 2019. We have somewhat different volumes in offices.
Yeah, that's so true, and that's the core idea of and the vision of empathic building, to have more real-time understanding how people feel when they are using the building and when they are using the space, because that's the only valid data that we need for the decision making or maintenance to make buildings more end user friendly.
Yeah.
That's very good. I think we have 2 minutes left in our time. I have a question to you, Jari, as well. So you are kind of like a primus motor in digitalization within ISS, and you know, facilities management is not necessarily considered as a you know, the forefront of digitalization as a business. So what's your experience and what's your advice on driving this kind of like a digitalization within the facilities management and real estate?
Well, the most important, I hope that we came across that, is that do not approach this stuff with technology. Try to cater the needs of the users of the building, and do that by helping them with technology. So technology is here to help us. Technology is not a tool that we can apply and have it do some magic stuff. We need to understand what are the users' wishes and wants and cater them. If the change starts from the users, it will actually more easily go through and can be implemented.
Very good. Let me also remind for all the audience that we have a booth, virtual booth here as well. We have a event offer as well. So we are actually, somebody commented already that the view of the digital twin for the building, and we can actually create something for free for you as well, if you are interested.
Great.
Tommy, any final words? Jari, any comments?
My only comment is that don't afraid to implement data-driven business decisions, because that's the future anyway. And welcome to the world of IoT. And as you saw from the empathic building, and you heard, you don't need to be IoT expert to implement this, and so you get everything from us as service. And we have
And
hands from ISS all over the world that can help you to implement sensors if you are too afraid to do it yourself.
Yeah, precisely. And just one of the biggest things that I've done within ISS is that you can start small and then you can add up. You don't need to sensor the whole building, all 7 floors, 10 floors, 15 floors. You can start little and then get the evidence from the actual data from your actual building to actually back up your business case or your promotion. And then it's a lot easier to actually get forward.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Thank you, Jari, for joining us, and Tommy as well. Thank you, and let's continue with the agenda.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.